Hello everyone, I'm the gamer from GameSmashers 101 here. Just doing another one of my Let's Talk a Bit videos that I usually do on my channel each anime, or towards the end of each anime season. And well, this season, spring of 2020, which has finally come to a close. You know, this has been a weird season because if you haven't noticed already that we're all in quarantine, and you know, there's a couple animes that actually been stopped and haven't continued. They are coming back, but at the time of making this video, like they haven't uploaded a new episode because of the virus going around. You know, I'm not gonna get into detail with that because I think everyone already beaten the dead horse. You know, so but I know things are starting to get back to normal. It's not like we're always gonna stay indoors and do nothing. Well, I mean, I've been working, but you know, for some of you guys, you've been in your homes doing nothing, like doing something like play board games, video games, whatever we do. But yeah, you know, strange times now. You know, 2020, we had a lot of things going on, especially nowadays. We still have more things going on, and it's just crazy. But yeah, you know, hopefully this comes to an end soon, and hopefully the world get back to normal like it always does. You know, enough about this depressing atmosphere of what's gonna happen in the future. We're talking about anime, so. Yes, if you don't know what my Let's Talk a Bit video is about, it's about taking two animes of whatever season of anime I'm talking about. Spring, summer, winter. Did I miss one? Fall. There you go, fall. Seasons. Any two of whatever anime I found interesting, and make a video about it. Including two mangas that I've read that I would like to talk about. And yeah, so like I said, you know, the virus going around delayed some anime. You know, some examples of the ones I've watched was Galtu Kuyuru or Galen Dino. That was one of them. Mukul Dreamy, which I think is another one of them. But I think recently, they're coming out with new episodes of them, so you know, at least that's back. Hokago Taibo Nishin. It's about a fishing one. Shingeki no Soma, you know, waiting for the episode, but then they got it, you know, on a halt. And well, from the ones I was watching, I think those are the couple of ones that were actually stopped. But the ones that did finish are the ones I might talk about. So I finished watching Yesterday wo Utate Otomega Game no Hametsu Flag Shikai Nai Akuyaku Reijo ni Tensei Shiteshimaiya. I hope I said that right. I apologize. I'm not really good at you know. And Arte finished Namio Kite Kure, Shin Sakura Tyson, the animation, Kakushigoto TV, and Tamayomi, and also Kami no To, Tower of God, and also these that, well, technically came out this season, but they just released the episodes in one drop, and like, here you go watch them, go binge watch these, enjoy, and they left, which is Jashin-chan Dropkick Season 2 and BNA. Those finished. So yeah, so this upcoming season, as well as this season that we're in, there's also animes that are being delayed because of, you know, the things that are happening. And yeah, so it sucks, but you know, we're just gonna have to deal with this. Yeah, so those are all the animes from so far that I've watched that are done, are complete. So technically speaking, I guess this season of anime is over. So what are the two animes I'm going to be talking about? Well, sit back, just hear me talk, and we're going to be going to the first anime. Okay, the first anime here we're going to be talking about is Yesterday wo utate, which is sing yesterday for me. Well, I'm not gonna go into a deep dive analysis of why this and that and this and that. I'm just gonna talk about my opinions on the show. So, like I said, this video is gonna be opinion based. So, what I think about the show. So there was originally, I think, 12 episodes that aired, including 6 shorts, which I didn't watch those 6 shorts. I'm probably gonna have to jump into them maybe later today or maybe some other day, but the genres are slice of life, romance, drama, seinen. There's a lot of drama that happens in the show. But yeah, if you don't know, the main character here is what's his name? Uzumi Riko, which is a dude who, like, in the beginning he was working in a little convenience store, you know, like a 7-Eleven. He didn't confess to someone he admired when he was graduating from was it high school or college? Yeah, it was college. Sorry, I have a little bit of info on the side so I remember. You know, take notes, because, you know, sometimes I forget some of the shit. And named the girl he was in love with was Morinome Shinako. Well, Shinako sounds easier to say because I always hear him say that, so it rings a bell more than her first name. And never confessed to her, and he holds this in the back of his mind. And while working at the convenience store, there was this girl named Haru Nonaka, or Nonaka Haru, however you want to say it, you know. And it's more respectful saying last name and then first name, but, you know, it's whatever you feel comfortable with. And Nanako Haru, which is a girl, spoiler alert. Is this spoilers? The reason why she admires Uzumi Riko, I apologize. And because I think she helped him. I think he dropped something and she picked it up, and Riko thanked her, and then Haru got a bit of a crush because of the events that happened there. But I don't really want to spoil it much. I don't know if that was a spoiler or not, but let's just say that's what happened. And yeah, I got a little bit crush on him. At the same time, we got the character Shinako, which, you know, doesn't want to fall in love because she fell in love, or she was with the stepbrother of another supporting cast, which is Ro Hayakawa. I think he was a supporting cast because he was in the show but not really a main focus like the other 3 characters. Hayakawa, Ro's brother, or his brother, I don't know if this is a spoiler alert, but died due to complications of his health. And Mirinome Shinako, who was actually in love with his brother, you know, felt depressed, you know, felt empty. And she stuck around with Hayakawa Ro's family and him, you know, cooking, coming over, saying how's it going. And I guess Hayakawa Ro developed feelings for Shinako, and also fell in love with her. Fell in love, or maybe admired her. I can't really tell. It feels more like he fell in love with her, but yeah, that's when I think Uzumi Riko finds Morinome Shinako. I think they bumped into each other, and then they're like, oh yes, this and that. And then I think Haru saw them talk to each other, and then Naruto challenges Shinako to a romance duel, and to see who confesses first, and then it goes there and there. I don't want to spoil the whole show, but I enjoyed the show for what it was. It wasn't too complex. I didn't like the ending. It felt like an ass pull. I did really feel bad for Haru though when she saw Shinako and Riko, and they were like they were with each other, and then she started like letting a tear out. Like, damn, Haru, you deserve better. But the ending, I don't know. But it was a pretty good show. Do I recommend it to you guys? Sure, if you like those slice of life drama shows with a bit of romance, sure. But do you get a lot of like cute, cuddly bishoujo type of romance? No. You don't get that in this show. You get more of that kind of depressing-ish vibe of romance, I mean, I've never ever I never fell in love with anyone, so and I never confessed my feelings, so I can't really have my own opinion about that. But I really loved the show for how it was. So yeah, that was yesterday with Utate, my opinions about it, a little bit of what it was about, and I really enjoyed it, right? Maybe not for everybody, but I did enjoy watching the show. So if you have any like interesting thoughts about the show, you can put it on the comments below. I really do like when people comment, because it has something for me to read about a show. And like I said, there's probably already other people who made deep dives of the show and how it's nostalgic and how there's this weird vibe to it that you feel. But yeah, that was the show. Anime 2. So the second anime on this list was Namio Kitekure. Hopefully I said that right. I apologize. Wave, listen to me. Well, if you don't know, the main character is Koda Minare, which is a girl who works, I think, in a little cafe-ish / restaurant. With the boss of her was Takarada Yoshiki and her co-worker Nakahara Chuya, which they were pretty funny, I would guess, it's kind of offensive to the LGBT community because Takarada Yoshiki, I think, is gay, and they do kind of make fun of him a bit. Well, like if you watch it, you understand what I'm talking about. But it's not really much to get offended about. But I found it pretty funny. The interactions between all of them. And yeah, but that's not the main focus of the story. The main story is that Koda, here's a recording of her. Well, the beginning starts is that she's like in the beginning she's fighting a bear. And that's totally irrelevant to what we're talking about. It's totally irrelevant in the beginning, but it's confusing. You jump into the shit, you see she's talking like in a forest, talking about stuff, and then she fights a bear, and it's just like, huh? You're like, the fuck is going on? And then she comes to find out that she's actually hearing a pre-recording of herself on the radio, complaining about her boyfriend or something like that. And because of that, she runs out her restaurant, runs full speed because I think she got drunk. And she was chatting with a guy named Mato Kanetsugu, which is the guy who works in like the radio station with the rest of the crew. And because Koda Minare was, I guess she was drunk, babbling about how this guy, borrowed money from her, and like, fuck that guy. I think the guy's name's Sugu Mitsuo. And she was like, fuck him, take my money, all this shit, this and that, blah blah blah. And talk that she just ran over there to the radio station he was at because he gave her like a number, I think, in the place he works at. And I guess she ran, like I said, she runs, finds it, and it actually playing a re-recording, and then the guy puts her in the booth and it says talk, and then she just goes on from what she said. It's like it's almost like listening to a podcast, right, basically, but in the radio form. And let's say that's how the first episode begins. Well, the Suga Mitsuo guy, the Kota Minare's old boyfriend, doesn't come out, I think, mostly towards like the middle half of the episodes. So you're not gonna see him in the beginning. So I think there's only 12 episodes in this series, and I think this is categorized as a comedy, drama, seinen, and yeah, it was a pretty funny show. There was some spooks with visiting one of the guys who called in saying how, you know, he's being haunted by a dead girlfriend or something like that. They go to the house and some horror stuff happens. You know, there's some feel good vibes when towards the ending an earthquake happens and everyone is all calm and peaceful looking at the stars. I really enjoyed the show. It's not something I'd recommend for everybody because, you know, it's not, you don't, there's no action, there's no big punches or nothing, just like the other anime I was talking about, Sing Yesterday, for me. It's a pretty good anime that I really enjoyed watching. I should say not reading. There's 3 volumes, I think, out officially for the manga. I'm probably gonna buy them because I really didn't enjoy watching the show. I'm probably gonna reread the series if I can, because I'm reading other stuff right now that I gotta throw that into my backlog. So if you like comedic stuff, funny things, you should watch it. It's pretty funny. There's not really much else I could talk about. I did like the ending. It kind of left off with like I didn't like the ending, but I liked the ending, but didn't like it at the same time. Like, they could have ended it a bit differently, but I think it's a good ending for the show. It was like, oh, going to the manga, you know, but I don't even know if the manga's ongoing or not, so I gotta check that out myself because I'm not really sure if there's only a couple volumes to this, but it was a really good show. And you know, it got me a bit interested in radios, you know. So yeah, so if you've seen Nami yo Kite Kure, do comment below and tell me your personal thoughts about it. I really enjoyed watching the series. Nothing really bad I could say about the show. It was just entertaining to watch. I really liked the ending song more than the opening song. So this is finished airing, so if you want, it's only 12 episodes. You can jump in, binge watch it. I don't know how you guys could binge watch a show like really quick. I can't do that. You know, I only could watch like 3 episodes a day or something like that. That's probably why it takes so long for me to finish animes. But yeah, so that was Wave Listen to Me, the second anime of the season. So now we're going to be jumping into the manga. So for our first manga, you know, I was debating which one I should talk about. You know, because I don't know. There's not really a lot of mangas I finished. There's still a lot of ongoing mangas I'm reading, and yeah, there's not really much I could talk about. But there was one short little manga. I think there's only 6 chapters out. It was originally, I think, published in 2007, which should be like really quick. They're really quick reads. If you could just jump in, like right now when I'm talking, you could just go in wherever you read your mangas, look it up, read it, and you'll be done with it like maybe 10 minutes or like 20 minutes if you really read through it that quick. But it's Miku 4. A little short story about Miku. You know, pretty weird origins. I don't know if that's canon or not, but so I think that, hold up. So it says the author here is Nagi Miso, and yeah, I don't know this author. Hold on, let me see if he made any other mangas. So he did make 4 other mangas: Kun Girl, Kokoro, and Noise Dragora. And I do not know those mangas, but he made those. So if you know any of those 3 mangas I just said, you know his writing style, and you read this and see if it's interesting or not. They're quick reads, so it's not like anything's gonna take long. Yeah, I enjoy reading it. It was entertaining. You know, I thought it would be a bit longer, but for a 1 volume, it's alright. It's not something that's like really gonna be, oh wow, this is cool, this and that. You know, it was kind of weird though. She was like in a lab. She was like a robot. I think her ears are detachable. Like it was weird. All right, the manga was weird. But it was interesting. It did show other Vocaloids, if you don't know. I think Len, Rin were in there. If there was other ones, I probably couldn't recognize them because of the art style. But the Lin and Ren I obviously recognize because obviously they have their signature hairstyles. But it is a short manga. Miku 4. Not really much else to talk about. Weird scientists, studies, labs, the moon. That's all I have to say about it. Like, it's just there. Interesting. Read it. It's quick. I mean, you'll probably lose like 30 seconds of your life, 30 minutes of your life, but you know, it's to reading the manga, Miku 4. But shit, that sounded harsh. But it's a pretty good read if you like reading short stuff that are like interesting and somewhat. I don't even know if this is canon or not, like I said before. But yeah, it is. I think does have a bit of a depressing vibe to it. You know, towards the ending of the manga, or should I say chapter 6, because this is the last chapter. But you know, it does make you feel good because you know everyone's original waifu is Miku, Hatsune Miku. Not mine, but you know, I do have the figurine. Second manga. So I know I already talked about this in another Let's Talk a Bit video I made. I just wanted to talk about it because it finally ended. It originally launched in 2016. Damn, that long ago since this manga originally came out. Which is, drumroll, The Promised Neverland. I really love the first chapter of The Promised Neverland. And what got me hooked was when they found out that the orphanage they were in, it was almost like a farm for humans, and the big demon looking thing was like in that, when you turn the manga page, and that big motherfucking demon with his fingers up in the screen grabbing the little plush bunny from what was that little girl called again? Fuck, I forgot her name. It's the first girl who dies in the, the manga. Spoilers, the only one. Right? But yeah, I think there's 181 chapters. That's the full set with 20 volumes, and the manga is done. And honestly, as much as I love the series, the ending was horrible. Right? Like, I thought they were gonna do something clever. So for me, talking about The Promised Neverland and this Let's Talk a Bit, I would put full spoilers. Alright, so some of you who watch this series and not read the manga, do not continue on with this Let's Talk a Bit of my video about The Promised Neverland that I'm doing right now. I'm gonna put a little number on the screen to skip to the ending of whatever, or the ending of this segment. And just if you don't want to hear spoilers, if you do want to hear spoilers and want to know how it ends, continue watching it from here. But I'm gonna put a number there to show you, signify where you gotta skip the video and skip it, you know, not to hear any spoilers of the series. But 3, 2, 1. Alright, so here we are, Promised Neverland, the ending of The Promised Neverland. Can you believe it that the fucking the promise was to send back Emma to the human world, the rest of her family, but then, like, oh wow, the big punishment you're gonna get is to lose your memories. Like, what? What kind of stupid shit is that? Okay, but I understand a lot of animes do that, but like for this, it was like you could have done. I thought they were gonna do like towards the ending, Emma loses her memory, winds up in like some weird snowy biome, and like meets up with an old guy. And you know, when I first read that part, I thought it was like, oh, the people were sent. Like, this could have been a better thing to end it on. Like, oh, she was sent to the human world. That old guy was actually Norman, who, spoiler alert, is not dead. But Norman's old, and throughout his time, they never found Emma. And she finally met up with Norman because he's old now. And they're like, Norman? And he would have been like, No, wait, that wouldn't make any no, it could have been. Okay, no. A better ending for the Promised Neverland would have been, oh, everybody and her family gets sent to the human world, but then there's no Emma, like in the manga happened, right? But it's actuality, Emma gets sent more further into the future as like, you know, as something bad that happens to her. The old man she finds in the manga, in the Siberian or the winter tundra or biome, however you call it, and that old guy is actually Norman, which I first thought was Norman. I was like, oh shit, she was sent to the future as compensation for sending all her people to the human world, and she was also sent. And let's say Norman has Alzheimer's, doesn't remember her, but she's like, I'm looking for a friend that went missing when we all got into the human world, and we kept looking and searching and looking, but couldn't find her. And all her friends have families already. All her families have families, and they're all living their lives, but they never found out what happened to Norman. While Norman's just stuck trying to find someone that he's probably never ever gonna find again, and he's old, and you know, probably be like, oh, that's me, because I know Emma also, like, Emma would have been like, oh, that's me, Norman, and you know, it could have ended in a sad note like that. It would have been like, shit, the Promised Neverland, fuck. No, it didn't end like that. It ended with, oh, Emma forgot, this old guy who comes in, you know, raised, kind of, you know, being like almost like a kind of like a family. All the other kids trying to look for Emma, you know, but Emma, for some reason, doesn't know where the fuck she came from. And then it's like, oh, they coincidentally go to a certain spot, and then like every other person that had passed away, spoiler alert, only like 3 people. The mother also dies, which is another spoilers. Shows him the way, and then they meet up with the gang, and then she's like, oh, I don't remember it. Like, oh, don't worry, we have a lot of catching up, whatever the hell. And then it's like, there you go, Promised Neverland, woohoo, I'm so hyped. What? Come on. Come on. My ending sounded a bit better as an ending. Well, I'm not saying, oh, my writing is superior or anything like that. But I feel like that would have been a better Promised Neverland for the series. But you know, I mean, once they were in the demon realm and the ass pull, oh, you know, I was actually alive. Oh, every demon gets fucking beating the shit up easily. I don't know, man. This is Shonen Jump, so it's not like I'm expecting much from it. But disappointing ending for a series I really enjoyed watching. I did enjoy the ending. I mean, it was a bit feel good, like, hey, happy ending, but they should have kept the Promised Neverland as like the Promised Neverland, you know? Well, it's done. What's done is done. It's already ended. That's my take on the series. So I didn't really spoil much besides the ending. So now we're here again, back to our Let's Talk A Bit video. So that was the end of the Let's Talk A Bit video. You know, if you do have any opinion based on the Promised Neverland, if you thought my ending was a bit better than what the actual ending, comment below and say what you thought. If like, oh, you know, Game Smasher, that was pretty good ending. You know, that could have worked, but you know, that's not what you're getting. I apologize, but I do want to hear what some of you guys think about the Promised Neverland. If what you thought about the end, if you read the manga. Do put a spoilers first. The Promised Neverland spoilers and space, so that you have to show more or read more for like, so you don't spoil people in the comments below if people do watch my videos. But yeah, so that was 2 mangas and 2 animes. You know, 2 mangas two animes I did enjoy watching, and 2 animes that are mangas, I mean, that I did enjoy reading. And yeah, so all ends well. You know, all is right. Not in the world right now. No, that's not what I mean. We're just going to shit so far, but you know, manga has been doing fine. You know, imagine getting isekai and coming to this world. Shit. Alright guys, so that's gonna be the end of this one. Hope you enjoyed the video. Hope you guys stay safe. And hopefully see you guys in my next one. I may do a gameplay in my next video, because I don't really have much figurines, if you haven't noticed on my or if you don't know. Yeah, I don't really have much figurines. I do have a couple of them, but they're not really like figurines that I'm well versed in. They're like mostly figurines that look cool to me, and I bought them, so I'm not really, you know, like the Tiger Mask one I unboxed. I've been having that for a while, but I never watched the series. I wanted to see the series first, to have information about it, and then talk about it, and unbox at the same time. But you know, I have other figurines there too, so maybe I'll unbox those, or maybe I'll play a game or something. But it's whatever. It's, you know, whatever I find at the time. But hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully you enjoyed my Let's Talk a Bit video. If you did enjoy it, please comment below and say what can I improve in this, because I know sometimes I make these videos like just out of like just sit down, click record, and say whatever comes out of my mouth. And I should be a bit more structured and organized when I do these videos, but it is what it is. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed my Let's Talk a Bit video. Hopefully next season we could talk more, or a bit of next season in summer of 2020. And hopefully no animes get delayed or any dumb shit like that, because you know, gaming so far, especially with The Last of Us 2, wow. I don't really do much gaming nowadays. But anyways, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Alright. Where's my fan? Hold up. There you go. Now that feels good. I know I have an air conditioner too, but I think the fan works better when I'm not when I'm